Planet Zoo 2 is finally here. But after seeing all these introductions of these beautiful animals, I think we can add a bit more. So that is why I'm introducing you to my Planet Zoo 2 wishlist. So to keep things organized, I divided my wishlist into different animal groups. So the first group, the birds. Then we will move on to the primates. Then we will do hoofstock, what I divided in a few different groups because yeah, you have bigger animals, then you have smaller and also cows and stuff. Then we have bears, canids, and as last we have the felines. So these are the groups that I'm going to present my animals in that I want to see in the next game. So yeah, let's begin with the birds. And my first bird is the barn owl. Barn owls are silent nocturnal hunters with incredible hearing, and they could introduce more realistic nocturnal aviaries, and they would fit perfectly in a European themed zoo. And then for my next owl species, I have the snowy owl. The snowy owl is one of the few owls active during the day, so it is basically perfect for a Arctic or like a snowy aviary. Then they have beautiful white plumage that would make it just a fan favorite. And another highly requested bird are the puffins. And it would be so nice to see a bird that could swim and that could dive like the puffins. Like you could just make a coastal, like maybe a cliffside habitat with a water feature, and you could just match them with sea lions, maybe other aquatic birds. It would just be so amazing to look at. Then we have the griffon vulture. And I think we need a lot of vulture species. It's just vultures need a lot of more education for people. People think that they're bad, people think that they only do bad stuff, but they're actually kind of the keepers of the whole world. So that is why I have a few vulture species on my list. And then for my last bird, I have the Andine condor. With a wingspan of nearly 3 meters, these are the biggest vultures and the biggest birds in the world. So it would be so nice to have these in Planet Zoo, just to teach about them and just to see those majestic birds. But now let's move on to the primates. So for my first monkey, I chose the vervet monkey. It's a little monkey, but I think we need a lot more smaller monkeys because we already have those human apes, we already have the orangutan, the gorillas, also like some bigger apes like that. So I think we're missing like a lot of smaller apes. That is why I just put a few apes in it. I couldn't really find big clips, so I just put some in. Also the Brazos monkey that you can see here, and I also have the Colobus monkey in my list. I don't really have a lot to say about these monkeys because, well, I don't really know anything about them. But I also just think that, yeah, they're not really that interesting. They're just monkeys. But yeah, I would still, just try to put them in my list to add them, you know? But now we have the hoofstock animals. And for my first hoofstock animal, we have the blue duiker. It's a little small deer, but with the adding of the dig dig, I think a lot of people would appreciate more of those smaller deers. This is the biggest group, so I decided to kind of, differentiate it. So first we have the blue duiker, I just want it. Then I'm going to do some, some goat species, then some missing antelopes, and then as last the big animals like the cows. Then for my goats, I have the Himalayan tar. It is kind of necessary that we have like a bit more of the animal species that are in the Himalayas or in the Alps because, well, we don't really have a lot. So that is why I chose the Himalayan tar. It's a smaller mountain goat, but I think the males look really great. I didn't find a clip, but they look really nice. And then I also have the chamois. The chamois is a European mountain goat and they're kind of famous for their climbing skills. And I just think that it would look so nice if you have like the ability to build a big cliff or like a backdrop and you can just see these goats climb on there and just access everything, like a big mountain. And for my first antelope, I have the blesbok. I think this is the biggest group that I have for today, but it's just there's so many majestic antelopes like the blesbok, and I just think these are a necessity. Even when the reserve is coming out, you have so many antelope species in Africa, also like the greater kudu, one of the most majestical antelopes I've ever seen. Their horns are so beautiful, even when they spiral. When you just have like such a nice spiral, it just looks so nice. Especially if you have a big antelope like the common eland or just any type of eland. I think these you just need to have them, when the reserve is coming out. I think you need to, yeah, you can make a whole biodiverse system, but you can't do it when you're missing so many important antelope species like the blesbok, like the common eland, especially especially the impala. I think the impala is just such a common antelope in Africa. You just need to have it, You see it so much everywhere. So yeah, I just think that you need way more antelopes in a new game because otherwise your reserve wouldn't look realistic and it just would bring so many more availabilities. When you have so many more antelopes, you can choose out of way more antelopes to make a big combined African habitat or just make all separate habitats, but that just gives away more opportunity when you have so many antelopes. Then, for my bovids, I chose the Gauwer. It's one of the biggest, no, it's the biggest bovid in the world. It is just a massive cow, and it would be so amazing to see it in game. Just, yeah, just to see such a big, majestic animal, and you can build something tropical for it. Just, yeah, just you can just admirize it, just like the muskox, one of the most requested animals that just from the community. It would be so nice to see it, especially with predation. You can see their little defensive circle. But now for the next category, we have bears. Well, only bear. Because I chose the American black bear. I think Planet Zoo did a great job with the bears, but I still think that the American black bear is still missing. It's one of the most spread out bear species in the whole world, so why don't add it? I mean, then you have every bear species in the whole world. Well, every common species then. And now for the Canids. I really only have one canine in my wish list, and that is the bat-eared fox. I think there isn't really any canid missing, but I just think they did a really great job with the wolves and with all those kind of animals. But I just still want to see the bat-eared fox. It would be so nice to see them matching with a meerkat or maybe in a porcupine enclosure. It would just make your habitat look a bit more, yeah, just active, Then you have those different types of animals and you can just match them. But now, for the most exciting category, we have the felines. And on top of my list, I have the serval. I think Planet Zoo did great with the ocelot, and that is why I want to see more smaller cats. I think we already saw the lion being introduced. We already saw the African leopard. I think the tigers will come. Yeah, we already saw the Sumatran tiger. So I think we're kind of settled with the base game big cats, but I still want to see a lot more smaller cats. That is why I want to see the serval and also the Jaguarundi. It is maybe a cat that you don't know, but it's kind of a match between an otter and a cat. It is such a rare species, and that is why I want to see it in a game, because it would be so nice to build for it. And this was my Planet Zoo 2 wishlist. So if you want to see more of my videos, please press the subscribe button, and while you're there, just drop your Planet Zoo 2 wishlist in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye guys.